Hey everyone. I hope that you guys are having a good evening. I can't believe we are back and ready for 2022 and book club and just all of the things that are, going on, and it makes me so happy that you all are here. How's everybody's evening going? We've got T Pear here, Taylin. I'm so happy that you decided to join and read the first book for book club. Hi Krish, how are you? We've got the reading nook here, and Stacy and KJ, Renee. Hello, Brooke. Ellen. Oh my goodness, Monique. We've got Lisa. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited. So excited. I'm working, but I work from home. Very nice, Brooke. Yeah, today was I don't know if any of you guys follow me on Instagram, but it was sleeting ice today. Like, I could literally just put my hand out and my hand would fill with ice. And so, yeah, I worked from home as well today, but with Alexander. So that was quite entertaining, to say the least. The weather here is absolutely crazy right now. Like, goodness gracious, what's the weather like where you guys are at? Because whew, it's like Monday, I think we played outside 2 hours while we were like, the weather was beautiful, and then today the high was like 13. Gotta love living in Oklahoma. We've got thank you. Yeah, I'm so excited about book club, guys. I'm also nervous. It's almost like when I had Lisa here, we were able to like bounce ideas and things off of each other. And now you just get me like unfiltered, and I have no idea the words that come out of my mouth sometimes. Anna's here. That's one of my reading goals for the year too. My goal is to read all of them. Yes. The Eclectic Reader. I enjoyed the book and hope to continue with this series. 80s in Florida, Ellen. God, that sounds amazing. It just started snowing here in Indiana, 1 to 3 inches expected. Yeah, there's like 2.5 inches of ice that we've had so far. The past several days have been 60s and 70s, windy and rainy in Arizona. Okay, so we can start diving in. What did you guys think? I want to do some housekeeping first. So those that are on Patreon, what did you guys think about me posting some pre-discussion questions on there? Did you like that? I just feel like it's a good way to sort of hone in what we're going to talk about, and then also make sure that I don't forget all of the things, because my memory is the worst. Like, I can read a book in a day and a half, but am I going to remember all of the characters' names? No, I'm not, unfortunately. So I want to make sure that you guys liked that. Also, I have had a few people sign up for the Cozy Matchmaker part of Patreon. So if you want me to get you a book recommendation for February, if you could get that form filled out, that would be super, super awesome. You can also mark if you only want to get recommendations every other month or every quarter or whatever, but I want to make sure that I am doing my due diligence and doing the best I can for you guys in getting you bookish recommendations for the tier that you signed up for. Okay, so the very first question that I have my handy dandy notes on here. What was your star rating for Engaged in Death? And while you guys are putting your star ratings, I'm just going to give sort of a general gist of what Engaged in Death was for anybody who is not, who hasn't read the book. So Engaged in Death, we follow our main character. Her name is Mallory, and she is a lawyer, and she is trying to plan the wedding of her life. She lives in Port Quincy, Pennsylvania, but after dumping her cheating fiance and canceling the wedding, Mallory can't bear to have another disaster. So she's trying to figure out how to even get another bride to be to take on her wedding venue, because secretly in her heart of hearts, she wants to be a wedding planner, someone who makes people's special moments even more special. But the night that she finds out that her fiance has cheated on her, she finds out that his grandmother has passed away, and she was actually closer to Sylvia than anyone else in the family. And Sylvia actually leaves Mallory the Thistle Park. It is a beautiful, very ramshackle mansion that's run down, that is in her fiance's hometown of Port Quincy. It is huge, and it's something that she can't really afford, but she doesn't want to sell it to the oil sharks that are trying to take her land for the oil and gas industry. It has tons of cats, peeling wallpaper, the nosy neighbors. She needs to sell it off, but she also doesn't want to when her sister Rachel comes in, who seems to be a person who is very much a wild flower. She doesn't really know what she wants to do with her life. She hops from one thing to another. Um, and Rachel lands back into Mallory's life, and Mallory's not quite sure what to do. But it says that it turns out Thistle Park has its charms, but the honeymoon phase is abruptly cut short when an unwanted visitor is found dead on the front lawn. Enlisting the help of her sister Rachel, Mallory vows to unveil the killer before she herself becomes married to the suspect list. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. I am going through. I like it. You guys loved the questions that I posted. Yes. Got a refresher for it if we read it at the start of the month. Yes. Good. I'm so glad that you liked it. Okay. So here are some. Hi, Ivy. Here are some of our stars. We've got 4 stars, 3 stars by Taylor, Krish 4.75. I tried to read it at the beginning of the month without the questions. I'd lose the plot. I totally understand. So questions are a yay. All right, Stacy, 4 stars, Lisa, 4 stars, Taylin, 4 stars. Yes, I think that this was a solid pick for the very first month back in book club for 2022. I gave it a 5 stars. I'm super generous if I read a solid cozy. So am I. 3.5 stars, 4.5, 5 stars, 4 stars. Ooh, okay. The Reading Nook read it last year and gave it 4 stars. 5 stars, 5 stars. I read it since it was for book club, but typically shy away from wedding planning series, even though I love me some cozies. But I'm glad you picked this one because I loved it. This is one of the ones that I am going to continue in the series. I have to continue in it. So 5 stars. I was actually pleasantly surprised that the book really wasn't about a wedding. It was much more about the house. I agree. I was like, February, I know wedding and love and things like that. But when I read that synopsis, I was like, please let that be the one they vote for. I read 2 other books in the series before I picked up the first one, so I was happy to go back and read from the beginning. Susan, 4 stars. She read it in 2016 and gave it 5 stars, so it's still solid. There is a holiday themed one, and I also read the Valentine's Day one. I love, I love a good theme. I'm getting over a sinus thing, guys. So Eclectic Readers asking Susan, did you like the other 2 books? I'm hoping to continue with the series. I just started the second book, and other books in the series are more wedding focused. Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm going to mute myself for a second because no one needs to hear me call. Okay, so we gave it some solid stars. Now, should we change stars to like cats? I just had a thing where I was like, look, there's a black cat emoji and Cleo. I was like, I might have to do that. Okay. So now that we've got the synopsis going, what did you guys think? I know that a lot of times we're trying to, at the beginning of the series, really understand the characters' quirks and things like that. And I'm 31. So like, but it's never bothered me when someone has called me ma'am. But I mean, Mallory was very, very, very adamant and annoyed when someone called her ma'am. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Is it because I'm Midwestern and maybe like ma'am is just a form of respect? But did any of that bother anyone else when you were reading, when she kept like hyper focusing on when someone called her ma'am? I was like, I don't feel like that's something to have that big of a, like, I'm not gonna step on that soapbox. Let's see. Renee, I only get annoyed with ma'am when it comes with a tone. Uh, you know what? I can see that. Like if it's like, yes, ma'am. Like I can see that being annoying. The tone. Yeah. Yeah. So the tone, I can 100% see that. I'm from the West Coast and I don't like it either. See? I wonder like maybe if it's like just where I live, like ma'am's like a form of respect. Like Lisa's saying, I wish she hadn't focused on it so much. I feel like she did drop it towards the middle end of the book, but I thought that was the most quirkiest like thing to like hone in on and get frustrated about. I was like, okay, okay. Brooke, I don't mind ma'am when it's sincere. Now, if it's bless your heart, ma'am, I might not like that. I love it. Yes. I cried a little the first time someone called me ma'am. Oh, Monique. Oh, I'm from the South, so it's respectful to me, but I do get the tone. I was raised to address people with sir or ma'am, no age, just respect related. I'm trying to change it now with not assuming gender. Yeah, I realized one of the things that I do say when it comes to like to me, I'm not assuming gender. I just call everybody this, but it's guys. I'm like, hey guys. I know that I need to probably work on not calling everybody guys. So I'm gonna say like maybe hey folks. Folks is gender neutral. Or hello people. Like I feel like, but I don't know. I start every video with, hey guys, how are you doing? So I don't know. I don't know if I can change it. Been doing it for so many years. Okay. So now we're going to switch gears. Did you guys agree with how she handled the betrayal from her fiance? So for those that didn't read deeply into it, it was the night that they were finalizing things for her wedding, and Mallory and her fiance, whose name I forget, you guys will remind me because he was a douche. So they were finishing up a lot of their wedding plans, and they had just met with his mother, who is Satan, by the way. And he's trying to tell her that, she only has to deal with his mother for so much longer. And then he takes her to this place where his mom bought them a plot of land. And she's she's upset because she doesn't want to leave the city and move to the burbs. And so she's like, no, I don't want this. This isn't what I wanted. They go home and they just then get the call from his mom that Sylvia had died, and they had checked the mail and there was this brown paper package. When she opens it up, it is Keith. Thank you, Susan and Krish. Keith was across the hood of his car with a lawyer at his first. I'm so sorry, you guys. And like she immediately packed up all of her things and left, which I guess I get, but what did you guys think? Like, I feel like I would have confronted more, but I don't know. It almost seemed like, okay, shock and genuine, but I agree. Let's see. KJ says, yes, cheating should not be tolerated. I don't agree with her throwing the ring at Keith in the manner that she did, but leaving him was the right thing to do. That was true. She should not have thrown that ring right after the funeral. That was not appropriate. That was not okay. Taylin, I would have lost it after the land was bought for me. Agreed. Like, no, I'm sorry. I would have lost it after Helen pinched my side and told me to lose more weight. Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, come at me, bro. I am curvy and proud of it. Thank you. But yeah, so I don't know, like, part of me is like, you should have been an adult, sat down with them, been like, nope, not gonna happen. Wedding's off. But yeah, I don't know. Some ways I can see how she reacted as natural, but the other way I was just kind of like, uh, I can see it staying where they had built something that was false and fake, etc., isn't winning. At the start of the novel, I was annoyed by how much of a doormat Mallory was. She was the one paying for the wedding reception, but somehow allowed her future mother-in-law to call all the shots. Right? Like I was the mother-in-law. Renee, I probably would have left him ages before. Keith needs to, I'm sorry for the language, get off the tee. Yes, he was 100% a mama's boy. Cheating is a huge no, April. Huge. I liked who Mallory became after the wedding was called off, but before she was very weak. I feel like a lot of what Keith did to her was gaslighting, making her feel bad by the way that she was feeling, making it to where if she had feelings that maybe she wasn't necessarily, she shouldn't have those feelings. So I can totally get that. His mother was a monster. Oh my, I could not stand her, Susan. I definitely get the need to leave. Helen was horrible. I hate the thought of uh, to being done with her after the wedding. As a mother-in-law, she would have always been there. Yep. I'm glad she knows what she wants and stands for when it comes to the big picture things. I would have lost it after the mother changed the cake. Seriously. Keith was so delusional. Let's just get married and figure it out. Right? Like, no, sir. He needs to tell his mother to back off. I agree. Like, he's marrying her, not his mom. I was having this conversation with my best friend on Monday about how, like, while I would love for Alex to continue to love mama so very much, he is not going to be a mama's boy where he has to call me all the time to do all of the different things. Like, I know that eventually he's going to find a significant other that is his other person. Like, do I still want him to call me and love me and all of that? Yes, but I don't need that kind of attention. I loved the book, gave it 5 stars. I already read the second one. Good. Yeah. Keith was 100% gaslighting her. It was nice to see at least that someone cares about grandma. Oh my goodness. Yes, I I loved grandma so much. Okay, so yeah, going to the next question. I know that a lot of you guys have already said your thoughts. What were your thoughts on Evelyn, the horrid mother-in-law to be? Emily Gilmore vibes or Professor Umbridge vibes? What do you think? I see that Anna says Umbridge vibes. What's the difference? I know what I think is the difference between like Emily Gilmore vibes and Professor Umbridge, but what do you guys think about it? So like to me, Emily Gilmore is like the one that was always raised to be proper. Like that was just her world. But in the end, she has like a nice, kind, caring heart, even though she's set in her ways and wants everything to be perfect. Umbridge is the devil. Like I've never, I can't even remember of a character that I've hated so much as Umbridge. And I see a lot of you guys, Umbridge, Umbrin all the way. She was Satan's twin sister, Lisa. Oh, yes. I love it. I'm so sad that Sylvia was murdered. She was a badass. She was such a badass. I loved her so much. The eclectic reader, Evelyn reminds me of of a professor I used to know. She was emotionally abusive, but also had tenure. Anyway, I couldn't stop thinking about her when I was reading Evelyn. And isn't it amazing the fact that a book can bring out such like powerful emotions from things in your actual life? Umbridge, definitely Umbridge. Emily Gilmore is by far easily for tolerated. Emily has redeeming qualities. Yes, Umbridge is pure evil. That's exactly how I felt about Helen. Pure evil. Um, Emily Gilmore strongly suggested what Lorelai should do in life. She didn't just pick or do things for her. Agreed. And she also let Lorelai do a lot of the things that she did in her life, and she still supported her in the end. So that's how I feel about that. So, what are your thoughts about Sylvia and her giving her estate to Mallory? It seems to me like I feel like even though we never got to meet Sylvia on the page, um, I loved the fact that I could still feel how well Sylvia and Mallory uh, got along, like their love for each other. I really, really, really liked it. I loved that. So who's the reading nook? Who's Evelyn again? Evelyn is the mother-in-law, or could have been mother-in-law. She's Keith's mom. She was Sylvia's daughter-in-law. She wasn't even like blood to Sylvia. I wish we would have known Sylvia more. Me too. There was love behind what a lot of Emily Gilmore did. Agreed. Um, Yeah, Susan said, "Just wait, Helen comes back in other books." But you have to have that one person that you just like despise, that you want to punch in the face repeatedly. I mean, you have to have a really, really, really good bad guy. You just have to. Um, it was so neat, and it seemed to tie back to the story from the past. You guys know that that's one of my weaknesses, right? Like, if it can tie back to the past and we can go back and forth, my heart is so happy. Sylvia cared about Mallory and wanted what was best for her. Yeah, when you found out that Sylvia was the one who paid the PI to take pictures of Keith cheating, my mind was blown. I was so freaking like just like yeah, like oh. Um Sylvia is very loving towards Mallory, but she made Mallory kind of a target. She did. But I don't think that Sylvia would have done that had she not thought that Mallory could take it. You know what I mean? Like she's a lawyer, so obviously she knows how to make an argument and stand up to for herself, but I feel like yes, I agree that Sylvia probably should have at least told Mallory that she was going to give her the house, but I mean, we all needed that surprise for the book, for the plot twist. I loved that. I felt that Sylvia loved Mallory and Mallory loved her. I feel Sylvia knew that Mallory would make the right decision with the mansion. I agree 100%. I thought the mom from hell was Helen. Is that Helen? Now I'm confused. Goodness gracious. Guys, Helen, not Evelyn. No, who was Evelyn? Evelyn was someone. I need to take better notes, guys. I'm not as good as Lisa was at taking notes. I think Sylvia knew that Mallory wouldn't let the hacking happen. I agree. Um, let's see. Okay, so when it came to diving back in history, what were your guys' thoughts when it came to diving back in Sylvia's past whenever she ran away and got married, in the journal, and how everybody tied together? Because we find that Rachel, Mallory's sister, comes in, and this real estate guy who seemed to have worked with Sylvia very closely about selling her house, he comes in and sort of sweeps Rachel off her feet, and we find that his parents like also grew up in the house, but as servants. Like, what were your guys' thoughts on the history dive? All right. I mean, I'm always down for like going back in time and like seeing how it connects. Uh yes, Lisa, I agree. There were just there was just so many. I need to okay. My thing is if a book doesn't come up with a character list, that's all I'm going to do is make a character list. That's all I can actually handle when it comes to writing notes about a book. So, that is my promise to you all is if a book doesn't come with a character sheet, do you guys want me to design a character sheet for all of the books that I post with the questions towards the end like I did this time? I'm coming up with so many different and new ways to have book club. I really want to make it the best thing that I possibly can. So, another idea right there. I wish there was more about her past. I feel like we only got a small piece and I wanted more. I agree. I wanted to know more about her and her personality. Maybe they'll do a deeper dive later. I really enjoyed that past element of the story. It was intriguing. We really got to know Sylvia in that way. I love that there was like puzzles and puzzles with this one. I agree. It was actually really hard for me to figure out the whodunit. Loved the history of the house. I agree, Anna. Maybe in future books. Yes to a character sheet. Yes. The past was helpful. It confirmed my suspicions and helped me guess the murderer. I actually like being able to guess who done it. I wanted to know more too. A person's history is important. I agree. I like history, so knowing about the past is cool. And yes to a character list. Yes. Hopefully, this cough isn't annoying you guys as much as it is annoying me. I'm just saying it's horrible. Okay, so what were your thoughts on little sister Rachel? At first, I thought she was going to be annoying, and I thought that she was going to be selfish, and I thought that she was also just going to weigh Mallory down with all of her indecisiveness. But that was at first. Watching how Rachel grew over the course of the book made my heart super, super warm. There are so many times where me as an educator, and April, I know that you can also agree with this. Um, it's hard to tell students that it's okay that you don't go the college path. Like you can go other ways with your careers. You can go in a tech industry. You can go in all different kinds of ways. So the fact that we got to see that Rachel was sort of like an eclectic hodgepodge mix of all of these different careers. And she was like, well, I want to do this and I want to do this and I want to do this. I love that she has been able to, towards the end and the culmination of the book, you find that they're going to keep the mansion as a B&B and a wedding venue. And Rachel's going to do all of the baking. That just made my heart so happy. Like to see her grow and to show readers that that's okay to go your own different way and paths. I really, really liked that. And that's damn good of the author to be able to put that into a book one of a mystery series. Yes to the character sheet. I thought that we would have more history from the diary, but the history is pretty cool. I know. I want to know what else was in that diary. Even though I read this in 2016, I didn't fully remember the whodunit, so it was fun to read it again. I thought Rachel was going to be a flake and cause issues, but she was pretty much a boss babe. Yeah, she was. I'm a DM who tries to make an NPC list for D&D parties. So yes, girl, I'm all about that. One of the things that we laugh about when I played, so I play D&D every single weekend. And one of our campaigns, my husband's so good at, and what's their name? And so we played a one shot where you can actually, my sister's whole entire scene that she made for our one shot. Look at that. Look how cool that is. Anyway, she knew my husband was like that and named everything but the turtles. And then, of course, my husband asked about the turtles. I love that Rachel was multifaceted. She was all of those things and not those things at the same time. I think it shows that people are never just one thing. So well said, Susan. Dang. Rachel scared me a little bit when she mentioned being a real estate agent. I know. I was like, girl, you also don't have to just follow what the boy is doing either. I was leery of Rachel at first, but eventually it was great that she was there for her sister. I like how Rachel was confident in her sexuality and a strong woman. Agreed. Yes, life does not have to be one path. I'm constantly telling students that watching Rachel grow and be her own was awesome. Did they decide to make the mansion a wedding venue site? They did. They did decide to do that. I look forward to seeing how their relationship grows. Me too. Let's see. Sometimes we don't figure out our paths until we are a little older, and that's okay. And Rachel was a good example. I love that Rachel came to stay with Mallory. Mallory really needed her. She cared about Mallory and encouraged her to keep the mansion and open a B&B. I feel like they both went with what their heart was at, and that was great. And I love that, like, even Rachel was like, what you're doing is not happy. You might have went the traditional route, but you're still not happy with the traditional route. Loved it. I really didn't like Rachel's character to start, but by the end, I really liked her. She grew throughout the book. It's a really cool battle map. Like, it's so cool. Was tired of hearing about Rachel's appearance, but I get that was part of her appeal to others. I enjoyed her growth and the dedication to Mallory, as well as with encouraging her to go for what she wanted. I agree. And one of the things that I'll say about the appearance, as we got deeper into the book, her appearance mattered less and less, and it was more about her personality and what she was able to do. You know what I mean? I grew to like her quickly, though. Yeah, I feel like she really did grow within one book, which is, like I said, so hard to do. Okay, which twist surprised you the most about the mystery, like the overall mystery? It kept me on my toes. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't figure out the whodunit until it happened. And like I started having like a sneaking suspicion at probably like 58, 60% in a way. Normally I can 100% figure it out by like 60% no matter what. But I loved how they were like, no, it could be the seamstress's son, because the person who died was the oil guy that was trying to get the land and the estate, right? And so I love that it could be one of the people that he wronged, like that family, the seamstress son, or the man who the well burst out and caught him on fire, or it could have been um, the man's estranged pregnant wife that actually cheated on him in order to get pregnant. It could be the mayor at the end. I was super, super, super shocked that it ended up being the mayor's wife, the meek, beautiful voiced, like, mayor's wife. I was super, super shocked by that. I was like, okay. Oh no, she killed one of the guys, and then there were more murders. Guys, I'm starting to remember it again. Then there were more people who died because of I'm trying to remember. Oh my god, it's so hard. Yes, she killed the guy originally. She did all of it. No. There were so many twists, because then we had cuz Sylvia died. So, Sylvia was killed by, I'm so sorry guys. Listen, I will get better. Sylvia was killed by the real estate guy whose family was servants to her family, and he was just trying to get what he was owed. And then he also tried to kill Rachel and Mallory. The other murder of the oil guy was done by the mayor's wife. Yes, I am just now yes, I'm just now getting it. Okay, let's see. Mallory needed Rachel to be pushing her. Yes, I agree. Or she would still be surrounded by the Snickers wrappers. Yes. I was surprised that the guy who killed the oil man was not the same person who killed Sylvia. I know. The wife sleeping in the attic. Isn't that hilarious? Big twist with more than one criminal. That's what threw me. I figured out the whodunit about halfway into the book, but it did surprise me. Yvette's involvement was the only twist I didn't figure out. I really enjoyed cozies with multiple mysteries. So do I, KJ. The two different crimes did throw me off. I was actually kind of more surprised that the kittens took a backseat to the plot. I wouldn't have been surprised if the kittens found some big clue. I feel like they should have. I hope that they're part of the series more because those kittens are adorable. Yeah, Zach. It just dawned on me the mayor's wife was Mallory if Mallory had married Keith. Yeah, put her whole entire life on hold for his career. He also killed the gardener. That was yes. So he killed the gardener and he killed the oil guy. Two killers surprised me. Was shocked about there being more than one murder, Sylvia being one of them. Something was off in the beginning, but I brushed it off. So at the end, when we found out, I was like, I knew it. I liked that there were two separate killers, which also made it fun. I had a suspicion of who it was, but it took me by surprise in the end. And I think that that's so well done specifically for a cozy mystery, the first one in the series. I really, really, really enjoyed that. Okay, so we, of course, in a cozy, there's almost always a romance of some sort. What did we think about the budding romance between Mallory and Garrett and his adorably cute and awkward daughter, Sunny? If you can't tell by my smile, I flipping loved it. I loved Garrett, and I loved the fact that he's raising his daughter all by himself, and he's like he's letting his parents help with raising Sunny, and that his dad's the freaking sheriff. Oh, that slayed me when they finally when Mallory finally found out that the sheriff was also Garrett's dad, and that he it just, my heart was so happy. Like, I just swooned. I am really, really digging their budding romance and like relationship in general. Not only that, but I really, really love Mallory's relationship with Sunny and how she's showing her that she can be different and unique without having to dye her hair all black. Not that there's anything wrong with that, guys. I have rainbow in my hair. But like, I love that she can still be like, you are still a beautiful, fantastic young lady. And you can still, like, you can be anything and everything that you want. And I love that, like, the way that Mallory would talk to Garrett, like, are you actually allergic to cats? And it was just, my heart was so, so happy. I loved that. Brooke, I loved Garrett. He's just a good guy, especially after the Keith creep. And it was awesome that Keith and Garrett have always been rivals. I loved that. I was like, oh, snap. There you go. Love the romance and Summer, not Sunny. I don't know. Summer, Sunny. I loved Summer and Garrett. Their family is great. I could see Mallory and the Chief being great in-laws. Yes. It was almost Hallmark movie cute. I mean, it could totally be a murder mystery Hallmark one. Love Garrett. He saved them in the end, and the daughter was spunky and sweet. I loved them so much. I just, not gonna lie, I kind of want to just pick up book 2 just to read about the romance too. Like, I'm like, oh, I liked that. That was good. So, we already talked about if you guessed the whodunit. What did you guys, are you guys going to, I saw that a lot of you guys are going to pick up book number 2, or already have picked up book number 2. So was this a yay? I feel like it was an overall yay, especially for the first book back in 2022, starting our book club off strong. I am super excited. Garrett mowing the lawn in his suit. I know, I died. Oh, I loved it. I love that the chief was a smart police chief. Yes, like they weren't showing him being stupid or like her outmaneuvering him. He knew what he was doing. Anna, I'm buying the rest of the series as soon as we're done here. Yeah. Yay, yay. Definitely reading book 2 and the rest of the series. I'm planning to read book 2. I want to find out more about how their business works out. My husband's name is Garrett, so it's yeah. I'm continuing the series. Yes, Susan, loved that. So good. Multiple mysteries and a romance. I may have to up my rating to a 5. I agree. It was so good. So good. Okay. So I don't have a giveaway for book club. I am very awkward when it comes to asking people for things, and I will try and work better at that, but I don't have a giveaway. I hope that's okay. But I've had an absolute blast with you guys tonight. You guys made this so easy, and I don't feel like I am so awkward. So that's great. I love your faces so much. But the book club pick for March, we finished the voting. I think I finished it at 5. Let me look and see what our voting ended up being. I think that I know. Yes. Okay. So 40 people total voted for the March book club pick. And remember, for March, we're doing middle grade. So it ended up being premeditated Myrtle, which is this right here. The yes, right there, premeditated Myrtle, that cover, so freaking cool. So freaking cool. I already purchased it. It's like $7.25 right now on Kindle. I'm sure that you could go and pick it up through your library app. I didn't actually go and look. I should do that beforehand too. Guys, I have all the things that I'm going to do better next time. But I love that you guys will be continuing the series. Read the 2 books already, anxious to get the rest in the series. Love when a discussion helps you see more about a book you read. I know, that's why I love book club so much. I don't know if there's going to be a new book soon, but I will read it when it comes out. Totally continuing after this conversation. I actually realized I liked the book way more than I thought. Oh, thank you. I'm so happy you guys liked it. Thank you guys so much. I already put it on hold on Libby. This was the best. You are all gonna love it. I reviewed it for NetGalley. Since we closed early, I know. I love it when you can join, Susan. Okay, book club is about connection, not your connections. We love being here. Don't worry about giveaways or anything. Okay, good. Just making sure. Really enjoyed talking about the book with people who like to read things similar. Shush. You guys are gonna make me blush. My face is so red. Okay, I'm sure there are some of us that could help you with all of the things. That would be great. I never read middle grade, so this should be fun. Thank you. I just requested a Kindle copy from my library. Okay, good. Well, I guess we're closing up in the hour. I'm super, super excited. You guys all had a good time. I'm so happy. You guys are just the best. I love our group so much. You guys just make my heart so happy, and I look forward to being able to have these groups, like just the discussions all together. But I want you guys to have an amazing night. If it's beautiful where you're at, go outside, read the next book that you want to read. If it's icy like it is here and you're stuck inside, make yourself something warm to drink, cuddle up on your couch and read or binge watch something or do something for yourself that you have been neglecting doing. But I'm going to sign off here and say goodnight. I love all of your faces, and I will see you guys next month. And make sure that you are following on Patreon. Patreon's free for book club. So anything for book club updates will be on there for free. And if you want to see anything extra that I post, I'm always on Instagram, and I will be designing the bookmark for March's pick tomorrow. So keep an eye out for the bookmark as well. But good night, everyone. Bye.